Hi, I'm Amanda Hawkins, and I teach English 1 here at Clear Lake High School. This is my 9th grade English 1 pre-AP class. And today we're looking at essential questions and relating those to our book because the students are preparing for their first Socratic Circle, which is going to be next week. And it's a new experience for them. They've never done it before. And they need guidance on what questions are debatable and what questions are good for a Socratic. So that's the point of our lesson today, is to ask the right kind of questions in the context of the novel. So they will be preparing those today. All right, y'all. Welcome to class today. I'm so excited to see your faces. Monday, we're excited, yes? It's a new week. This is the last week of the progress report, so we're going to remember that. Grab your books. We're going to read. I'm going to talk to you. In 10 minutes, we shall reconvene. As we're reading, think about, what was your expectation when you started this book? How are you feeling about it now? Also, think about connections you can make between what you're reading and your life. I'm going to pull you from your room just a minute early because I want to talk to you really quickly about the PSAT tomorrow. Because you're taking the PSAT 8-9. I'm going to encourage y'all to really try and do your best because you get really great information in the printout for the PSAT of where you just are in readiness for school. There is a study guide. I put it on today's notes for the page in your notebook. There's a study guide. There's a link to the study guide. There's also a link to some practice tests. Okay? This is one of those tests where you only get awarded for questions you get right. Okay? So guessing is not scary. Okay? It's not punitive. Also, you need to bring a calculator because you can use a calculator on one section. You can bring a graphing calculator. If you don't have one, you'll just bring a calculator because even a 4-function calculator is more valuable than your brain. Right? Because it just makes you go a little faster. So tonight, get a good night's rest. You only have 6th and 7th tomorrow, so don't think about homework for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? You can get a good night's rest, eat a breakfast, come take the PSAT. Any questions about that? Still arrive at the same time. Okay?
After the test, do we just leave it? Like, do we leave?
After the test, you can only leave it to the parent. Okay? If not, if your parent, like the Hawkins children's parents working, then we'll go to lunch and you go to 6 and 7 go home. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
Wait, so if we don't go to 6 and 7, it's counted against us?
You'll be counted absent if your parent takes it. Yeah. Okay? So that's the PSAT tomorrow. It's going to be great. Enjoy it. When you come in on Main Street, there's going to be like really colorful sheets of paper with your name on it. You'll look, you'll find your room, you'll go straight to that room at 7:20. Okay? Bring water, bring snacks. Okay? Here's what we're looking at today. Come on. In your response today, what is your definition of bravery? You're writing that in your response. What is your definition of bravery? Okay? And then what character in To Kill a Mockingbird, which is our class novel right now, what do you feel, which character do you feel embodies bravery? Okay? The wild clicking of keys. What is your definition of bravery? What character embodies that? What? Hey, man. typing, the little fluttering of keys makes my heart so happy. All of you had an idea right away. Avery, you had an interesting definition of bravery. What was your definition of bravery?
Being able to recognize that you are afraid and still going through with your lives.
Okay, so Avery's saying fear does not relate to bravery. Like you can have fear, but still push through that for bravery, right? Really, you kind of have to push through fear. Who is your example of that character?
Scout.
Why?
Because she's not like afraid to like stick up for like her father and herself, even though she knows like kids are like mean to her and stuff.
So she sticks up for the underdog, right?
Right.
And that's your definition of bravery. Yeah? Who else is Team Scout? Raise your hand if you're Team Scout for bravery. Yeah? Joshua, you had an interesting example of bravery, definition of bravery, though. What was your definition? Yeah, that you wrote.
I put it, it's like getting over your fears. So you're just sort of like, I guess not.
Kind of similar, but you said something, were you the one that said, you don't think of the outcome? Like when you're being brave, you're not thinking of what's going to happen to you. Right? You're not like weighing consequences. It's more like impulsive. Right? Who else had a different character for bravery than Scout? Addie.
Jim.
Jen, why?
Whenever Jim and Scout are being attacked,
Oh, okay.
he like kind of like distracts him while he's trying to go after Scout so that Scout can run.
So why does that make Jen brave?
He's like not thinking about the fact that he could get seriously hurt.
He thinks under pressure, right?
He's putting himself on the line to save Scout.
Oh, so you're saying risk.
Yeah.
He's not thinking of the reward. He's thinking like he's just going for it. Anybody else have a different answer? Yeah. So Caesar. Atticus, why?
Because he stood up for the top mountain, and even though everyone else like that he should have done it, and that also he was being like they were threatening people to like beat him up.
They're threatening his life for defending a guy, and does he do it anyway?
Yeah.
He does it anyway. No others? We have no other characters? Okay. You know who I think oddly is kind of brave? Is Miss DeVos. Why would Miss DeVos be brave? Yeah.
Because Atticus thinks so, and that's the only reason.
Because Atticus thinks so, and Atticus thinks so, we all think so. No, not necessarily. Why?
What?
Why is she brave, Avery?
Because she was trying to like make a change in her lifestyle for the better.
She's changing her lifestyle for the better. When is she changing it?
Even when she's like really old.
Yeah, she has nothing to gain from this other than intrinsic value, right? Then I know I died on my own accord, not being an addict. That's huge, y'all. That's brave. I would not have died. I don't think I would have done that, right? Like my last days be painful days. No, thank you. Something's not into it, right? That's brave to me. Okay? Are all these answers right? Yeah, why? Well, yeah. They all have evidence to back them up. We all have evidence from the book to back up these answers that they're all correct, right? This is what a Socratic circle looks like. There's all these right answers. But if I as a Socratic circle say, Jim, who's going to fight me on that? A lot of you, right? Because you're like, no, he's not brave, he's just reacting. That's not bravery. True bravery is standing up for someone when you think they're being treated poorly, right? This is what we're doing, okay? There's a lot of right answers. But you have to be able to stand and defend yours based on what? Evidence of it, right? Okay. We're looking at that now. A lot of you have asked me how to write your questions, so I thought Ms. Rote thought it'd be interesting to give you all a lesson about how to write the questions for your Socratic circle. Yeah? So, really quickly, we're not going to do that. I'm going to turn to these. Here's what we're going to say. Today I want you to know that good readers, writers, and thinkers make connections. When you're reading, you should always make connections to what you're doing. Always. To your life, to other things that you've read, because that's what good readers do. And by the end of the day, you're going to make connections with quotes from Kill a Mockingbird. Okay? So what makes an essential question? Has anybody heard of an essential question before? Has anybody heard this lingo before? None of you? Okay. Sort of. It feels a little familiar,
Yeah.
right? Do y'all have these AP Human? Essential statements. They're just not putting questions, right? Okay. Here's the characteristics of an essential question. They're open-ended. It means there's not a right or wrong answer. It's not, after Scout went to the store, where did she go? Right? There's a right answer. Okay? It's thought-provoking. It makes you make inferences. Okay? It points you towards a big idea that can relate to many things. It makes you ask more questions. If I ask what bravery is, and someone says a definition, does that make you say, you know what? That's not what my definition of bravery is, right? So it makes you ask more questions. It requires specific examples, like Bree said, to prove your claim. And they're timeless. If I ask the same questions from Romeo and Juliet that I asked today, why do teenagers fall in love when they really have no basis for it? Because that's still relevant today. 100,000%, y'all, right?
Yeah.
I love him. Why though? I don't know. He's perfect. Okay? The last thing is, we're gonna connect these two To Kill a Mockingbird and write really good Socratic questions. So all y'all can get that bonus point, right? Here we go. So let's think together as a class. We're gonna do one as a class, one as a partner, one on your own. Here's the quote. Real courage is when you're licked before you begin. And you begin anyway. And see it through, no matter what. Okay? What does this quote make us think about? What does this make me feel and think about?
Courage.
Courage. Okay, what else does it make you think about?
Knowing that now probably not a good outcome.
Okay, courage. It makes you think about outcomes. You're typing this in your notebook as I'm writing it. Courage, outcomes, what else does it make you think about?
Perseverance.
Perseverance. Determination. See how y'all are getting this now? You get the ball rolling in this. What topic does this address? If you're talking about determination, what does that mean? Why do you have to be determined?
To win.
Okay, so you're getting things done, you're getting goals accomplished, right? It's making me also think about overcoming obstacles, right? How does the novel connect to this topic? Where in the novel do we see people having courage, or persevering, or achieving goals or overcoming obstacles? Where do we see that?
With Mr. Bose.
With Mr. Bose, why?
Because she was overcoming her addiction.
She's overcoming that addiction, right? She's overcoming obstacles. Who else overcomes obstacles? Who has problems? Huh? Everyone. Everyone has a problem. What are they overcoming? What is Scout overcoming? Being able to restrain herself? Yeah.
Grandma wanted to be like more feminine.
Right, her own gender identity, right? Like she feels like a tomboy, but they want her to be more feminine. That's overcoming something that's taking courage, yeah.
Jem trying to be more like a man.
Jim trying to be a man, why is that overcoming something?
Because he wants to play and be like other kids, but once he sees Atticus being like Atticus, you know, like him being like this cool guy, he wants to be more like him instead of playing around with
100%. Y'all remember this, and this is why 7th grade is such a dumpster fire. When you're in 7th grade and you're like 13, right? You still want to be a kid and play, but you want to look cool.
Yeah.
So you have that time, like I remember all my kids in 7th grade. We go to the playground for younger siblings, and they'd be like, do I play on the playground, or do I have to sit here on the bench and look cool? Like, what do I do? Right? I'm struggling. Internal struggle is real. And Jem's doing that, right? Okay? So how do we connect this to other society? What is the societal connection to this topic? Outside of To Kill a Mockingbird in life. How do we overcome obstacles? Yes, Bree.
Oh, how do we?
Think about obstacles and perseverance and determination. What is that? How does that fit in life? Never mind. What's going on right now in your world?
Oh, there's an election coming up.
There's an election going on? What else is going on right now? Coronavirus?
Hey,
Are we having to come together and be determined and overcome obstacles and persevere? How? How are we doing that?
My word.
How are we doing that as a people?
Finding new ways.
Yes, Gavin.
Sometimes we collaborate.
Sometimes we collaborate. What else are we doing together?
Like finding new ways to keep like businesses open and
Yes, we're all jumping in and helping small businesses. Literally all wearing on your faces. How many of you would be wearing this for funsies? How many of you? Gavin would be wearing it for fun, so Bryce. The rest of us would not. We're doing it because we're trying to overcome an obstacle together, right? It's responsible, okay? What kind of question can we write? This is hard, y'all. I'm making y'all really push yourselves. What kind of question can we write about overcoming obstacles or perseverance or determination in the context of the novel? What kind of question can we write together?
Like a multiple choice question.
Nope.
No.
Is it a single question, a multiple choice question?
Open-ended.
Yeah. That's okay. I told you we're doing something hard. What kind of question can we write? About observation, perseverance, determination. What kind of question can we write?
why did the character feel like they had to overcome the obstacle?
Okay, which character?
Any character. I suppose.
Why did Miss DeBose feel compelled? Do we like that word or do we like a different word?
That's a great way to talk.
Compelled to do what?
To overcome her
Better herself before her death. Is that something we can debate? Is that a debatable question? Yeah. Are there a lot of different right answers based on the text?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right? We can even talk about that gift she gives to Jim. That really comes into it, right? Is that gift to Jim about perseverance? Or is that, I got you, buddy. Right? I win in the end. I persevered in the end. I don't know. We can debate that for sure, right? Okay? Here's what you're going to do. The person at your elbow, you grab an elbow partner. Y'all are going to do this one together. Okay? You're going to go through the same questions very quickly together. Same questions and answer all these. Here's your quote. The one place where a man ought to be to get a square deal is in a courtroom. Be any color of the rainbow, but people have a way of carrying their resentments right into the jury box. Okay, Atticus says this. The one place for a man to get a square deal is the courtroom. Be any color of the rainbow. But people have a way of carrying resentments into the jury box. Grab an elbow partner. If you really want to be an island, be an island. But I think it's easier to have a partner. Okay? What does this quote make you think? What topic is it addressing? How does the novel connect to this topic? How do others in society connect to this topic? And what kind of question can be written to help explore? Okay, go!
Reading it again to get a better idea.
Okay, so
Well, you see some how you just
Addressing equality and
yes.
Wait, do we have to answer each question?
Word
it makes me think of freedom.
yeah.
Thanks, freedom.
Racism.
What kind of words first come up?
Yeah, just like racism, corruption, in color.
I think this is addressing like racial injustice.
Judging.
Do you think that people, do you think this is about fairness and the ability for fairness for people? Do you feel like it's like justice is fair? So the first word you're thinking of, this is not, it makes you think about justice.
Equality.
It makes you think about fairness. Makes you think about judgment. That's what y'all are talking about, right?
Yeah, but wait, do we have to put something in info? Or do we just like
I mean, it's just like a
So think about bigger topics.
yeah,
Is it
research
about
yeah, racial.
inequality in the court? Is it about judgment is based on who you are, not what you do? Like, what is the bigger?
Lots of the white people are racist. I mean, could you say like, this is really inequality?
Did you say false accusations? Is that what you said?
Many people in Alabama at that
No, I
time
think you're
Are
wrong.
against voting rights.
I mean, that's what it was, that's what I got.
Many people.
I agree with you.
Okay.
Because I know
I'm in agreement. Don't struggle alone. Raise your hand if you need help, and I will pastor you until you find the right your way.
But something
Yes, sir.
who are these two? I didn't know we were supposed to reckon them.
So how does society connect to that topic? How does society connect to bravery? We talked about or overcoming obstacles, like all the things we're doing right now to overcome the coronavirus, right? All the things that we're overcoming to overcome things in society, protest marches, those kind of things, overcome obstacles. Avery, are you working by yourself? Yeah. All your friends are
Okay. What? For the fourth one?
Right. So what do you feel like this school?
I'd say we still have some
There's still a
races.
lot of bias.
We still have some races.
Go up in Alabama, but still.
So what should we?
So what topic
We
is
should
this
just
for us
put
to
that
pick?
colored people are still being treated wrong, but it's better than anything. We could just put colored people are still being treated unfair, but it's a lot better.
Like, I know for a fact I wrote that. So I emailed her and I was like, so
So they're experiencing shape
That's embarrassing. I was
People are still around today. And this is not good. And we'll do whatever they can to get people to see their. I had a generic answer. This guy is a criminal. Advocates is like
Do you feel like we have a societal connection to this? What kind of societal connection?
Current, state
Race relations? That's fair. And what kind of questions do you have about this? Here's my question, Avery. I'm kind of here. Is it just, or is it just judgment based on race?
Why are people still being
Other levels
judged
of
based off their
Let me
color?
think about that.
I mean, just like in the context of the novel.
Yeah.
I mean, in the context of the novel.
In the beginning, Walter kind of was like, why are we judging him? Right? There's a lot of judgment. So I think to write a question about judgment in general. Which level of judgment is
I mean, in
this?
the context of the novel, they were.
I mean, this Monty's
Like
being judged because
slavery just like stopped recently.
Yeah.
she's different, right? She doesn't follow in with the
I mean,
rules.
they were treating
I think you could write a really consistent question about
that wasn't nowadays.
No.
Obviously.
Yeah, no. I mean, you will. Not yet.
In context
Caesar, what's your question, babe?
So on the last one, we did just ourselves or?
Yeah, we're gonna do it ourselves. I guess we're ready to move on because we're smart. Here we go.
Can the legal
No.
do anything?
Yes.
We should
I
ask
agree.
why they're treated.
Here's your turn.
their color.
Here's your quote. Yours is from Jen. If there's just one kind of folks, why can't they all get along with each other? If they're all alike, why don't they just go out of their way to despise each other? Okay? Fill out the questions. What does this make you think? What kind of topic does this relate to? In society. Whew. Man, we can talk about a little division up in here right now, right? In society. Okay? And then what kind of question we're going to share in a minute. So quickly think Y'all don't sit and stew in your confusion. Wildly gesticulate, I will count. Right? I have people's notebooks. Don't forget your questions should fit in the context of the novel, right? So if you're asking about big ideas, make it fit inside the context of the novel. We're all different. What else? Community, religion, race. There's an interesting question about which is the most offensive division? Which one affects the most? What do you think? Yeah, I think there's strong argument for that. I think other people might argue that it's right. I think I agree. I can use numbers like because the vision of working for us is as we didn't understand, right? So I think that would be really interesting. How about that? How are y'all feeling about it? Good? But I make y'all do hard things sometimes on your little faces. You're like, what are you doing? It's Monday, Miss Hawkins. Why are we doing this? Okay? First, did anybody have a really great question they thought Christopher did? I know Christopher did because I had to know. But Christopher, what was your second question that your group came up with?
For the quote that we just did.
For the quote, the second one. Not the gym one, the second one.
I said, what does the
Why does the public opinion influence the audiences, judges, and jury's opinions?
Why does public opinion influence the jury, the judges, and the audience, the people sitting? That's a great question. The court of public opinion in this novel is crazy, right? Is this person going to get a fair trial? Why?
Because the minority of this bias.
Yeah, the majority of town has decided what?
He's guilty.
He's 100% guilty. He's guilty. Guilty as days, right? So it's going to be hard to convince people that's not true. And that's a great question. Anybody else have a really good question? Don't be afraid. Yes, Addie.
If you close your eyes and hear the facts, does your opinion change?
Ooh, interesting. How can we put that in the context of all what characters can we throw in there? If it had been Atticus instead of Tom, even if, okay, well, what's the difference between Atticus and Tom, not just race? What's the difference? Elena and I were talking about this. What's the difference between Atticus and Tom, even not if race weren't involved? What's the difference between them?
Education.
Education. What else?
Atticus understands how the town operates and how we're going to change.
Society. They have like different roles in society. They also, do they have different levels of education? Absolutely. Right? That makes a big difference. Okay? So if Tom or who is someone in the same like education background, socioeconomic status as Tom?
Like Walter's family.
Walter's family. If it had been Walter's dad, Mr. Cunningham had been on the stand, would the court of public opinion feel this way? Why?
Well,
Maybe.
He's not the same as them. He's just like not. Doesn't.
He's still a little bit of a social outcast, right? Caesar? Yeah, Bree.
I would say like partially they're to the same, not as much because like skin color does go into account for how the people deal.
Absolutely. But there's also division in this city has nothing to do with race. There's many of them. Elena and I were talking about it, right? That's a great question. That is debatable. Okay? That is awesome. That's going to make a great Socratic circle, which I cannot wait for. Are y'all feeling better about the Socratic?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Or some of you are like, no. But I'm going to say yes because everyone else is saying yes. Okay? Here's what I want you to think about as we end. You're going to write 5 thought-provoking questions and you're going to turn it in by Wednesday. We're going to work on them in class Wednesday, y'all. Okay? So give yourself some time. You also have the PSAT tomorrow, yes ma'am?
Can we use some of the ones that we used?
You could, yes, this is why we did this today, girl. Right? So we had some basis for thinking about it. So go back to those favorite parts of the novel, right? Those favorite sections of the character you really liked or the character you hated. And think about those questions and come up with an essential question related to the novel, right? Here's the last thing, okay? So you're all feeling better, give me a thumbs up. If you're feeling better, give me a middle. If we're not, give me a down. We have an overwhelming majority of people feeling better. Oh, okay, Ben's like not, but we're gonna get to there, Ben. Okay? Here's something that I added. So I was thinking, I always like to change as a teacher. I always want to make things a little better, right? Than I did in the past. I'm really good at making things simpler when people need that. I'm not great at making people who genuinely are curious push them out of their comfort zone, and that's my goal this year. So I made this thing, if you look at it, it's called an extension board. It's right here in your welcome. You need to go to October's. Okay? This is 4 chances to receive 5 points on a major grade. Here's the thing, this is not extra credit. This is for people that are genuinely curious and want to push themselves to a place with this novel that's a little more, just a little harder, stronger push. Okay? First, this one right here is an article about Harper Lee and where she's from. And I think it gives you a lot of guidance as to why she wrote this novel. Okay, so you could write an analytical paragraph about why you think she was inspired. This is a picture of her and her actual dad, who's a lawyer, right here, on their porch. This is also a letter from Harper Lee to Oprah, and she writes about the power of literacy. And I want you to write a letter back. Do you agree with her or you disagree with her? Okay, the letter is gorgeous. So you too need to step it up and write something really great reply, right? You can also compare, like see this, I compared Scout to little Amanda, you'll see 1970s Amanda right there on the right. I was a mess, hot mess express. But I thought Scout and I both in our overalls looked a little similar there, right? And you can compare two characters. Here's the kicker, you don't have to compare to someone in your life. If your favorite TV show is American Horror Story, you relate to that. Or Twilight, or I don't know, what's a show that you people watch? Nothing. No, what? Grey's Anatomy. Alright, relate these characters to a character in Grey's Anatomy and tell me why. Okay? For my artists, do I have any artists up in here? No? I have athletes up in here. Okay, you can make a piece of art that helps explore a theme or characters in this novel. Right? All of these are worth up to 5 points on a major grade. I say up to, because they have to be done well to get the full. Right? Every month I'll post things on this extension board for my friends who really want to push themselves out of their comfort zone. If you don't, no worries, don't do it. Okay? It's just there if that's something you want to do. Yes? I feel like I'm sleepy. Are y'all sleepy? You're a little bit sleepy there? Think about your questions, please. Okay? Make them good. Look at the parameters of the question by putting these page numbers so your friends can find out what you're talking about and where. Okay?